stealing an idea from Good Hang with Amy Poehler. It's a podcast that she just started. Before each interview, she reaches out to friends of the interviewee and asks them what they would ask them or stuff they want to tell them.
Okay.
So I reached out to Tiffany Lavender.
Okay.
And she said, Megan is kind, generous, driven, and passionate. I've been to several private chef events that she led, and each experience was personal, informative, and inspiring. Megan brought me soup when I was down, and it was a really big comfort with more than just food during my worst time of life. So, let me make your tummy happy really is how you live life.
Yeah.
Why is that so important to you?
Well, I think that, when you as a person have been through trauma in your life, I've been through a few unspeakable things. You don't know what people are going through, right? You don't know. I know it's so cliche to say, but it truly is real. You could be seeing a person on their very worst day. You could be seeing somebody on their very best day. But I try to live as if I'm seeing everybody on their worst day and try to give them as much grace and whatever as I can. And I think in those really dark moments, people don't necessarily think to feed themselves. And so it's one of those things where it's called OPC, other people's cooking, and it's always so much more comforting than something you could do yourself. That was very sweet of her to say.
How do you cook with love? How is that even an ingredient?
Okay, so for real though, I always pray to Julia Child on every single thing. So how some people, use religion and those kinds of things to speak positivity into things, I speak to Julia Child. If I'm doing something new for the very first time, I say, Dear Lord Jesus, Julia Child, please just make this good, please make this good, and then I speak to it like, you're doing so good, you're cooking so well, that's such a good sear. And you think that I'm joking, but I'm absolutely not. If you've seen me in the kitchen, I have a team of people that look at me like I am the craziest person on the planet, and I'm like, well, this is why it comes out good every single time.
Yeah.
It's not the recipe.
Yeah. So how many times have you caught them speaking of their dishes?
Never.
Never? It's
going to happen,
Yeah.
though. I'm rubbing off on them.
100%. Yeah.
They're already starting to call me Mama Megan.
So I also reached out to KJ, your cousin.
Oh, okay.
And she had a litany of questions that I thought she thought I should ask you. What do you listen to when you are creating a new dish, and why?
Yeah, so I always listen to Frank Sinatra, Dean Martin, Glenn Miller Radio on Pandora, just because it's, I don't know, especially the Glenn Miller Radio, there aren't a lot of words. It's just the feeling, and the actual music itself makes me feel very calm. And so when I'm creating a dish, I don't want to be frantic or because you're gonna build that recipe or you're gonna build that dish with this like chaotic energy, and you want to be like cool, calm, collected. Mm-hmm. And so I
just want to point out, if I would able to take 10 years ago, Megan, to today, she'd be like, who is this hippie?
Yeah, no, you're not wrong. Trap music?
Right, right. Why aren't you listening to Megan Thee Stallion to do this? If you could be on a cooking reality TV show, which one would it be and why?
I would probably like to be on some sort of like PBS show versus the Gordon Ramsay yelling at you.
Sure.
Because that's just not what he's like anyway. But I think I would like to be on something that was a little bit more collaborative and a little bit more although I have applied to be on Guy's Grocery Games. So, Guy, if you're out there.
Right.
Listening to this, I love that. Guy's Grocery Games, just because it seems to be a little bit more fun.
Yeah.
And it's like, okay, for real, this is the thought that I just had in my head. It's kind of like a cooking show meets Supermarket Sweep, and Supermarket Sweep is my favorite.
Sure.
So that would be amazing.
All right.
Yeah.
There you go. Okay. Is there any dish that brings back nostalgia for when you were a kid growing up?
That I make, or that just does?
Sure. Yeah, both.
I mean, lots of grandma cooking, right? So she always made these honkin' dumplings with flour and eggs, and then boiled them, and then green beans in a can. For some reason, that's comfort food for me, nostalgic for me. I think of like the food my dad would make. He would pour Campbell's cheese soup and then noodles, and then that was a thing, or like ramen noodles with eggs. I don't know. I could go on.
Yeah,
Those,
sure.
Yeah, those are the things. Or, man, yeah, like Braunschweiger and mayo sandwiches on white bread. Stop. Pickle and peanut butter sandwiches.
There you go. All right. Pickle and... Why does that bring back nostalgia?
Oh, because that's what Grandma fed us. That
Okay.
was like it.
Was your grandmother Elvis?
No.
Oh, okay.
That's
No, that was peanut butter.
Bananas
yeah.
are gross.
And they were fried. Is there any weird food obsession that you or your extended family has that is very unique?
Peanut butter and pickle
I was
sandwich.
going to say peanut butter and pickle sandwiches might be it.
It's funny because that's KJ's question, right? Yeah, so that's what we grew up on. She and I spent a lot of time together at our grandma's house. So we are very unique, our family specifically. She and I were born a month and a day apart. So we grew up like sisters. And if anybody knows us, you know that we have very similar mannerisms. We don't necessarily know when Megan ends and when KJ starts, but peanut butter and pickle sandwiches.
Is there anything you see other people cooking or eating that really gets you feeling a certain way?
You know, here's the thing, right? We're all weird. We're all trying to get through this life. Again, this is the difference between Megan 10 years ago and Megan now. Because Megan 10 years ago would have been like, we don't have enough time. But Megan now, it's more like, we're all just trying to get through it. We're all just trying to do our best. However, please chew with your mouth closed, guys. I know that the ASMR deal is a big thing and you're whatever, but you're not making money doing that. Like, leave it to the professionals on YouTube. That's so gross, man. Ucky.
What food would you travel to specifically to have in that specific place?
I would love to go to Italy and eat anything. I would love to go to Greece and eat anything, but I don't think I have a specific dish that I would want to go to a specific place to have.
Is there like a restaurant or chef or cook or anyone that you would travel to go eat from?
Nancy Silverton.
Who is that?
Okay, she's incredible. If you've seen the new, well, it's not new, it's got like 8 seasons, but Somebody Feed Phil, Rosenthal, yeah. She's one of Phil's favorite. She's just, I don't even know what her origin story is, but she's amazing. Or honestly, I'd love to eat Stanley Tucci's food.
What about desserts?
What about them?
Do you like to cook those?
No. I mean, I do, but it's so frustrating because baking is such a science, and anybody who's a pastry chef with any modicum of talent, it's like, you're a god to me. I don't know how you do it. Like, there are some things that I do very, very well, and there are some things that I am just like, no. Like, that's so silly. No, I would not even attempt to do that.
Sure.
Like, any sort of pastry, any sort of pie. Like,
sure.
We have a friend who makes pies from the Waitress cookbook, and she just bangs out, like, these crusts, and I'm like, how do you do that?
Yeah.
And make it the same every single time.
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
the same recipe, but for some reason, if there's like an extra molecule of moisture in the air, the dough is like, nah, nope.
Yeah.
Nope, not gonna do it.
She actually, KJ, I want to point out, she said desserts. That wasn't me being mean to you. So,
funny.
But you have had some epic failures with desserts.
So bad. And I sometimes post them online.
Yeah.
People are like, oh yeah, great. And I'm like, no, you have no idea. I made like a jelly roll once that just did not, I don't know. It's just, I need to give up. I mean, I'm not going to, but it's fine.
Yeah, persistence definitely is a word that I would use to describe Megan. I want to circle back a little bit. Do you see yourself getting back on stage anytime?
I would love to, yeah. I would love to. You know, being in the hospitality industry, though, it doesn't lend itself well to the stage. Yeah, so I would love to at some point. It just has to be the right show at the right time with the right people.
How long has it been? Proof?
No. Betty Shaw.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Another show I directed.
That was just a fever dream that we all just like,
yeah.
no.
I even have a poster up in my office of it, and I still, yeah. Anyway, what about that show? That was a different experience for you as well. Does anything stick out from that?
I mean...
It's okay if it
yeah,
don't.
it's okay David, don't. I love you. It came at a really bad time in my life. It came at a place where I wasn't working at the best job. I wasn't around the best people. And I kind of hit an all-time low for a lot of reasons. And I think I was definitely around the people that I needed to be around with that cast, right? If that makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
But the text and everything that we were doing, I was just like, I just couldn't connect to it.
Sure.
And I've never had that experience before.
Yeah, it was a tough show.
It was a very tough show, personally and professionally, for sure.
For sure.
Mm-hmm.
What is your dream show now?
I don't even know if I would know what that is.
Sure.
Yeah. Not that I'm old, but now that I'm getting older, I think something with substance, right? Something with a little bit more meat on the bone. Not saying that, and then there were none, or even the shows that I did when I was in my early 20s weren't great. But I think I would want something with a little bit more meat on it. And typically those don't happen until women are in their older years.
Yeah, unfortunately, that's how it works.
Yeah.
We got ingenues that are just paper thin, and then meaty roles for women that.
After they live
Like you've
their
got
life.
this many when you're about 20,
Yep.
and you've got this many when you're 30 to 60, let's say. But the substance of these outmatches the substance of these.
Yeah. So I'm just waiting
Yeah.
until I get a couple more wrinkles.
Wait, you are really good at waiting your turn.
Oh, thank you.
So,
yeah.
anything exciting on the horizon for La Chateau you want to mention?
I am just trying to get my footing there. It's a lot when you come into an established crew. I am booking a bunch of events, but I am working with the Historical Society on a pretty fun project. So stay tuned for that.
Yeah, be looking for that throughout July. I might know a little bit of something about it. You can find out all the information online about Megan. She's at La Chateau right now. Vintage Kitchen still doing stuff?
Yeah. I mean, every once in a while, people will still pop up. I still do cooking classes as a one-off. So yeah, it's never closed.
Got it. Okay. So check out VK or Vintage Kitchen or The Vintage Kitchen online. You can find Megan all over the socials as well, and make sure, if you don't know her personally, to get to La Chateau to taste the magic that this woman gives on a nightly basis. I'm Stephen Walker. This is the Artist of the Month, brought to you by La Crosse Community Theater on WI Pride.